captain. Up. Look on the side. Yep. Rest. There we go.
Later on. Okay, sir.
Yes, and good evening and welcome back to the ABFA Technical Center. Here where we have the Calvin A sponsored Women Premier League. My name is George Saw Dublin. Alongside me is
Desmond Zico Blow.
And we apologize to the late audio feed. You know, we had a little minor glitch, but we were able to sort it out. And so we're here now, back here. The second game of this evening of a double header. We have Cutting Edge Football Academy versus Trendsetters FC. Here, Zico. Both teams have played one game, so they're now into their second game, and both teams has won their first game.
Yes, Cutting Edge would have received a bye during the first week of play, and they would have started their season last week. Ran out comfortable 4-1 winners, so they're looking to extend their winning streak. And Trendsetters also on a bye last week, they're looking to get back into the winners column.
Well, most definitely. And here we have it with young Jordan Enriquez. She plays it here to Augusti. Augusti tried to play it forward, but there's an offside call here on Jordan Enriquez. Here, Zico. Definitely, Zico, these two teams has played one game each. They're into the second game now. Trendsetters playing in the first week where Cutting Edge had a bye and Trendsetters won 7-0 against, I think it was Fort Road FC, and then Cutting Edge played last weekend their first game and won 4-1 against Lady Masters, Zico. And here we have Augusti, lovely footwork by Augusti to get around Lakeisha Samuel, but dispossessed. Ball is with play shooters. Samuel has it for Cutting Edge. Samuel goes wide to, and the ball intercepted and goes into touch for a throw-in for Cutting Edge here, Zico.
Be interesting. I see noticeable absence for Trendsetters. The veteran Karen Warner taking up coaching responsibilities this weekend, George. So it'd be interesting to see how Trendsetters shapes up in the back with the notable absence of their veteran.
Well, it definitely looks like there's a young back pairing. I see number 4 who is slotting there for Karen Warner alongside Hughes, and I see that Cutting Edge is sporting number 17 there, Khadija Proctor, the former national player.
Yes, that bolsters well for that looks like should be a good move there for Cutting Edge, bolstering that midfield with not just quality but also experience. So it should be an interesting match, and this will be, for want of a better expression, the feature match of the day, George, and hopefully lives up to the billing.
Well, definitely. It started quite aggressively. The technical aspect of it is not lacking at all. There's some good touches, some good passes thus far. So we definitely in for a treaty. And the ball is here with Abisha Henry. She boots it. And this one seems like we'll go straight into touch here for a throw-in for the Cutting Edge coming down the right side. Just for our viewers here, Cutting Edge is in blue and white strip here, and the Cutting Edge team is in a red and white strip, red and white shirt with a white shorts with red trimming. It is Zico.
Trendsetters in blue with the white, blue shorts, blue socks.
So there is another throw-in here for Cutting Edge, and the throw-in is taken by
looks like Donisha
Samuel. It is playing right back here this week again.
Gave a good account for herself last week, George. So hopefully that continues and we see some quality play down the right side. I also noticed that Trendsetters would have pushed Nafisa Squashy into a more centre forward role. Let's see how that plays out.
Yeah,
going against what would be an experienced Cutting Edge defense.
Most definitely, Zico. And there's also another throw here for Cutting Edge to be taken by Samuel again. She has options in Proctor making a slight run across, throws it into Augusti. Augusti flicks it on. Ball played across but intercepted by the defense of the Trendsetter team, and now we have a throw-in for Trendsetters down there on the left hand side. Just to give the viewers in terms of who going in what direction, Cutting Edge kicking from north to south and Trendsetters kicking from south to north. Ball is with the defender here for Trendsetters. She tried to play it in the midfield, intercepted by Augusti. Played forward, headed back forward by Proctor. Won by Hughes. Hughes has some time. Hughes elects to go forward. Picked up by Proctor. Great touch by Proctor. Elected to go wide to Enriquez. Enriquez has one to beat. Back to Proctor. Proctor and Enriquez play all, but it's a bit soft, but well read by Brown to Hughes. Hughes tries to clear. Boys with Abby on the boys play through, but it's a heavy touch and the ball goes straight into touch for a goal kick for the Trendsetter team, Zico. Both teams here looking to be really technical and precise. Nobody trying to whack it over the top or run it. Everybody trying to find the open teammates and support the play.
Yes, this game should be easy on the eyes, George, based on the style of both teams as well as both sets of players.
Most definitely, Zico. There's a foul on Samuel just now and Ogaro, and so it's a free kick here for the Trendsetters team to be taken by Brown. It looks like here, Zico, this evening. I like the way the game is being played. Everybody trying to play football, you know, and what some of us call football is passing. I know, in my opinion, football is however you try to get forward to score. But here it is, Brown takes a big one. Ball falls at midfield, but there's an infringement on the Trendsetter player on Proctor. So here we have a free kick for Cutting Edge to be taken by Abisha Henry.
Football requires playing to your strengths, George.
Well, I don't think a lot of people understand that, because as soon as you start to kick the ball over the top, everybody starts to say you're playing boom boom, and that might just be your strength. But I fully understand as a player and as a coach that the game is being played in multiple ways. Some teams will want to pass it, some teams will want to kick it and run, you know. But here we have an attack by Cutting Edge, the ball into the box. So Augusti on it, but unfortunately she was under some pressure from Ogaro and couldn't keep her shot on target, and this one goes wide of the goal, and it goes into touch for a goal kick here to the Trendsetters team.
Just what we're talking about, George. Trendsetters playing to their strengths, 2-3 passes, getting it in wide positions, and there's a cross coming in, and that's their style of play, and they would have managed to unlock the Trendsetter defense early in this encounter.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Coach Nabu Samuel is playing a 4-2-1-3 formation here, where he has a solid back four, and he has two holders in terms of Khadija Proctor, and I think it's Fenton is the young lady's name, and then he has Augusti playing in the attacking midfield position with Enriquez on the left, number 16 down the middle, and there's
number 16 would be Abigail Simmons.
Yeah, so yes, as he said, number 16 is Abigail Simmons. But Simmons was playing at midfield last week, innit, Zico? Central midfield it was, innit?
It was, but obviously with the inclusion of Khadija Proctor, it gives you the option of pushing Abigail a little bit higher. She can use her pace, use her size. I mean, she matches up well, or she would have an advantage against the two central defenders with the absence of Karen Warner not occupying that central defense.
Most definitely, and based on the size of the two central defenders, they're fairly small, and Simmons has a bit of height on them and has some pace also. So it looks like, you know, it would be a good matchup to have Simmons up there. and there's a foul on Abisha Henry. It seems like, so it's not a free kick here, like some 25 to 26 yards out from the cutting edge goal. And it seems like last week Brown scored a goal from some distance out, so she seems like she has a pretty decent kick. So she's been elected.
I also think Nafisa would be very interested in this one, George.
Well, Nafisa is over this one, so it seems like Nafisa has taken the mantle here and decides that she's going to, you know, try to get this one on target to beat the goalkeeper down there in the cutting edge goal. And Nafisa is up, she takes a strike. Shots, one floats harmlessly over the bar and into touch for a goal kick here for cutting edge.
I would say, George, Nafisa's goal scoring prowess is reminiscent of a younger Akiva Hillos in terms of the technical ability, in terms of striking the ball, and just the volume of goals that she's scoring in terms of the women's game.
And cutting edge is on the attack with Samuel. Samuel has one defender to beat, plays a 1-2 with Augusti, but well read by the centre back number 4 and intercepted. Ball falls to Lakeisha Henry at midfield. Henry into a sliding challenge, ball falls to Nafisa. Is a lovely first touch by Nafisa and a brilliant feedback also. Is a pass and run by Nafisa, along with Nafisa looking to take on Abisha. Still Nafisa, challenged by Abisha. Abisha is done. Nafisa, she whip it across, but the player that was there wasn't ready, so the ball slid across. Ball is with trendsetters here though. Tries to take a defender on, but it's great movement of the body and feet there by the defender for cutting edge to recognize what the attacker is trying to do.
Yes, that's good defensive work there from Tassian Benjamin, showing her experience, just allowing the attacker to make the move and then just stepping across, shielding the ball, getting her body between player and ball, and coming away cleanly. And what was even more impressive was her ability to pick a pass to continue or to virtually start the attack for cutting edge.
But most definitely, this is like maybe the 4th or 5th time I've seen Tassie and Henry in action. I saw her when they had the tournament before this one, you know, earlier knockout tournament, and I was very impressed with her ability to recognize danger, to be able to help her team keep the ball and stuff like that. And you know, she's really comfortable on the ball. So I'm very much impressed with Tassie and Benjamin. It is Zico?
Yes, Benjamin.
I also see Coach Nabu, like he has to make a lot of changes because there's number 9 Sharp, who played the attacking midfield last week. Now he's playing out on the right. So Brianna Sharp it is, playing out on the right there, Z.
Yes, a little bit of a shift. I mean, obviously, it's interesting for us as commentators to see the changes that coaches make. I mean, as from the coaching aspect of it, there's so many variables that go into those changes: availability of players, level of training, possible injuries. So it's interesting to see how those changes play out during the course of the game.
Yes, Henry has it. Henry plays it upfield, picked up by Brown. Brown tries to play it over the top for, but read by Benjamin and Samuel collectively. Back to Henry. Henry still has it. Henry has options at midfield. Plays it to August. August has options in terms of Enriquez. Plays Enriquez. Enriquez stops. She gets it. Enriquez slips, but still manages to play to August. Intercepted by Brown. Brown is under pressure from Proctor, and Proctor commits the foul.
We have seen quite a few players slip on the eastern side of the pitch. I mean, it's a tricky situation. The surface is a very good one for playing, but the eastern side, especially when there's heavy rains, tends to retain a little bit of water. So it's just something that the players have to be mindful of in terms of their footing on the eastern side of the technical center.
All right. And George had it. George plays it forward, but intercepted by Enriquez. Poor pass by Enriquez, taken up by Brown, but Benjamin comes with it. Proctor with a lovely turn, plays it wide to Samuel. Samuel tries to play it forward, but Samuel is down, picked up by Ogaro. Ogaro tries to play it over the top, intercepted by him. And it's quite most definitely Zico. So last week, but I see we have number 4, who scored a double last week for the week before last for the Trendsetter team. Denovia Jarvis is playing in centre back this week, Zico. So I guess the absence of Coach Warner, you know, is forcing them to make that change. I think she's predominantly a defender because I've seen her a couple of times. So, you know, I just think the game is one of good quality thus far. There's some really decent technical players playing for both teams, and which is both good for football, Zico. This league is something that is very much welcome. The enterprising timing of it also from the Calvinia Foundation to sponsor this league, is going to help us to, get female football back on track here in this country, because we have quite a few talented ladies, and we always have talented lady footballers, but the avenue for them to express themselves outside of the school or after they've come out of school has not always been, where I say, consistent. You understand what I'm saying?
And it's important that we have leagues like this put in place, and we want to give kudos to the Calvinia Foundation for coming on board and sponsoring this league. We're looking at sponsorship to the tune of $500,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars over this season and 4 seasons to come. So this is a massive undertaking by the Calvinia Foundation, but something that is necessary to drive the female game forward, and the substitution definitely being made there by Cutting Edge. Samuel being replaced there by number 8, Camilla Brown. So it's interesting to see how things are going to shape up for Cutting Edge.
Most definitely. And the free kick was taken by Brown here for Trendsetters, but that one goes wide of goal there. So Hodge has no problems with that one, and it sails harmfully wide of goal, and is a goal kick here for Cutting Edge. Most definitely, Zika. And we must also say, as good as it is that Calvinia came forward, the Football Association having the initiative also, Zico, to wanting to help to develop the female game, putting themselves in a position to be able to help, partner with Calvinia and making this league possible is something to be commended also.
Yes, I think kudos must be given where it's necessary.
And there's a breakaway here for Trendsetters, but Hughes kicked it straight at Hodge, and Hodge comfortably grabs that one with no harm or no danger. That's definitely a run of a centre back. I feel like I've been in that particular position where Hughes has been in quite a few times and done the exact same thing, Zico.
Actually, that's the Novia Jarvis, and based on her goal scoring exploits in the first game, she would have should have been hoping to extend her goal tally to 3. But, hitting straight down the middle into the safe arms of Amaya Hodge. Danger averted there by Cutting Edge.
Definitely. Right, and so just to give the viewers a shift in play in terms of the substitute, it seems like Simmons now is back playing left back, and Enriquez is moved to the right, and Sharp has been brought over here onto the left-hand side, Zico.
Yes, Coach Vincent Samuel in the changes in terms of how he is deploying his personnel.
Good job. Somebody get to
Yes, definitely. So we have a couple of shifts. I see like it has now Tassian Benjamin is playing in the centre back role here with Abisha Henry. Also here in one of the the formation changes or tactical changes has to be made early in this game by Coach Nabu Samuel.
Yes, so Cutting Edge having a back four of Simmons, Benjamin, Samuel, and Henry.
Yeah, that's the back four.
There's a decent back four. I think they would have quitted themselves well in the first encounter. So Coach Samuel there looking to slot in experience for experience. Unfortunately, having to make a change with Denisha Samuel being substituted early in the match.
Most definitely. And also at midfield now, where they have Deluge, number 6, and Khadija Proctor playing right in front of that back four as 2 holding midfielders, and Agosti playing right above those 2 in the attacking midfield position, and Enriquez on the right, Sharp on the left, which is the change. And then there is Brown, who was the substitute, is playing up front for the Cutting Edge team here. Samuel to Enriquez back to Samuel. Intercepted by Cutting Edge ball with Nafisa Kwashi. Nafisa Kwashi looks to take on Samuel. Samuel slows her up. Kwashi looks to play one over the top. She plays over the top, but there wasn't enough on it for the attacking player to get on it. Picked up by Hodge. Hodge rolls it out to Simmons. Simmons takes a touch, has time, plays it to Henry. Henry looks up. A big one over the top. The ball is over the top and being chased by Enriquez. Enriquez looks like she'll get there first, but goalkeeper Jarvis, Anik Jarvis, is there before Enriquez and clears this one into the stand, Zico.
A little bit of indecision there.
Between Jarvis and it.
Usually reluctant to come off a line, but eventually, in my estimation, made the correct decision and cleared the danger.
And there's Zico, this is like the second fall through in this encounter here, Zico. So we
the referee's actually calling it. I would suggest they were more in the first match, but I think the referee, who do we have in the middle? Shamroy Ali, being really strict on the ladies this evening as far as the restarts are concerned.
Well, rumors have it that you have to pay to learn, and if you allow them to constantly be making full shows, Zico, I guess they won't learn or know what is the correct way to do it. So I think Ali just making that the rules, show that the rules are being enforced here. Showing for cutting for trendsetters, show taken, met by Sharp, then Samuel, but the ball goes into touch for another throw at midway of the field to be taken by the trendsetters team here. Show taken, intercepted by Sharp, tried to play to August, but August wasn't ready for it, picked up by Hughes. Hughes tried to come to Brown, but intercepted by Enriquez. Poor touch by Enriquez. Now with Samuel. Samuel cuts one. Samuel looks up, plays it over the top for Ogaro. Ogaro is on it with time and space. Ogaro is still going forward, being chased by Simmons. Ogaro tries to play forward, but well read and well positioned just now by Tassie and Benjamin, Zico.
Yes, good positioning by the experienced Benjamin, getting into that passing lane, but also being brave enough to get ahead behind of it and clearing the danger.
Crossed in by Ogaro, but headed clear by Henry. Picked up by Enriquez, poor touch by Enriquez, balls past to Samuel. Samuel elects to shoot. And ball rolls through harmfully to goalkeeper Hodge in the cutting edge goal. Flicked on by Augusti for Enriquez. Enriquez is on the chase, but Hughes seems like she's going to get there first. Hughes elects to come right and runs it outside. Hughes run this one outside, so now it's a throw-in for cutting edge, being a bit casual. They just now Zico going around the opponent here by Young Hughes.
Yes, her first touch let her down, but you can see the casual approach to the ball. And hopefully that doesn't become a hallmark of the game. I mean, she's a pacey player, player of quality. I think that's the one aspect of her game that she needs to address early in her career.
And the ball is with Simon now, but intercepted by Simon again. Picked up by Samuel. Lakeisha Samuel boots it forward. Headed back forward by Benjamin. Picked up here by Proctor. Proctor plays it to Simmons. Simmons has time. Still has Proctor. Plays it. Tried to play to Enriquez, but intercepted by Ogaro. Ogaro tries to find Kwashi. Intercepted by Benjamin. Back to Ogaro. Ogaro and Proctor. Proctor plays it after Gus. Gus. Oh no, that wasn't Gus. That was Simon. Read by Benjamin. Benjamin comes around the corner. Still Benjamin. But a bit too much Zico, and Benjamin allowed it to go into touch. Strong challenge between Benjamin and Ogaro there just now. Benjamin comes out with it. Played forward by Henry. Picked up by Brown. Proctor. Enriquez. Still Enriquez. Agos is on it. Agos goes right back to Samuel. Samuel over the top. But read by Lakeisha. Simon is on it here.
Back down. Let's the baby goal.
Strong clearance by Hodge.
Let's go, Tisha.
See this, some players struggling with their footing, George.
Most definitely. You know it is sometime on this AstroTurf, and this one tends to hold a bit of water, Zico. So I would believe that's
in addition to the water possibly being retained by the surface, where at that time of the year where there's a lot of dew.
Most definitely.
That's
Zeke.
something that our players have to take into consideration. So we're in the 26th minute of play. It's still 0-0. I mean, it's a fairly even match, but we expected that. We have seen some display of quality. We have seen some attacking intent for both teams, but we've also seen some good defensive organization, and both teams have basically nullified each other in the first 27 minutes of play.
And we have it here, throw for cutting edge taken by Samuel. Zico playing the pitch, just hold the ball in the hand, and the referee hasn't blown the whistle as yet, Zico.
I think he indicated that the throw didn't enter the field of play.
Right.
So he had them retake the throw in on the far side.
Well, it's just so far the most attacking-minded player for Trendsetters is young Kwashi Zico, and Henry seems to be on like white on rice here this evening, Zico.
I think it's clear that Abisha Henry has specific instructions to ensure that she is in a good position to handle the quality of Fisa squashing.
Most definitely. The ball played over the top and headed into touch for a corner kick. It seems like Zico here for the Trendsetter team, Zico.
Yes. Honors even, in my opinion. Both teams evenly matched. Both teams at this point expertly marshaled by the respective coaches. I think it's going to come down to individual moments of brilliance
or errors. In some cases, in this case, I feel it might come down to error more than it come down to, because both teams have been set up reasonably decently by both coaches and have been nullifying each other individual for individual. So I believe it's going to take an error by someone this evening to break the deadlock, or as you said, all fingers crossed, some individual brilliance.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, and the truth be told, this is the kind of match that we want. If we can manage to have the majority of the games being this competitive, then it just means that we'll be able to put more butts in the seats.
Yes, most definitely. That was a good corner by the Trendsetter team, but met by Abisha Henry, and also headed and chased down by Abisha Henry, starting the attack here for cutting edge. I love the ball into midfield for Simmons. Simmons goes to August. August is still on it. August looking for options. She has Samuel out on the right. Samuel has options in Simmons. Sharp turns, tries to play it around the corner, plays it around the corner well for Deluge, but Deluge couldn't. Deluge is back on it again now. Deluge tried to kick it forward, but this one will roll forward and picked up by goalkeeper Annie Jarvis.
Uncharacteristic
Error by
Yeah.
Annie Jarvis. This one is hit hard and long, being chased by Brown, by Benjamin and Kwashi, but Brown, being the more aggressive player in that instance, was able to head it into touch for a throw-in for the Trendsetters team.
Yes, I mean, and we see the importance of that experience and that ability to change on the fly, paying dividends for Trendsetters. Benjamin slotting back into that. I would say a more familiar centre-back role, with Denisha Samuel unfortunately being injured early in the piece.
Definitely. And you have it here with August, Samuel, still Samuel, picked up by Trendsetters. Now there's a turn by Deluge. Deluge has options in Samuel, decided to take a man on but ran out of real estate, and the ball goes into touch for a throw-in for cutting edge. Samuel has it, looks to play to August. August has it. Augusti, has it. She goes back to Henry. Henry plays this one over the top, but read by Denovia Jarvis, and then now touch forward, being chased down by Sharp. Sharp couldn't get there before the goalkeeper, Anik Jarvis, and Jarvis hits it forward, but Benjamin is equal to the task. The firm header back forward, picked up by Lakeisha Samuel. Lakeisha tries to go wide, but met by Donisha Samuel here for the cutting edge team, and the ball goes into touch for a throw-in for Trendsetters.
Sharp's first touch just letting her down there, George. She had one man to beat, but I think her first touch took it away from her and into the the arms of Jarvis, who made no mistakes or indecision in terms of coming off a line to collect.
And intercepted by Simmons. Simmons tries to play it forward, but read by Denovia Jarvis. Sharp is there. Sharp is now chasing forward. One and one of all, but defender with a lovely turn and gets out of trouble. Plays it wide. And that player wide is adjudged to be offside by the official, but the referee did not see it. And there's a player down, it looks like Sharp.
Yes.
It looks like Brianna Sharp there, number 9.
Looking like she needs a little bit of attention there.
Or is it Deluge number 6, Zico?
That looks like number 6.
Looks like number 6 in it. So we have a player down, Deluge and Physio. Duran Mead for the cutting edge team is here on the field looking to see if she's going to be able to continue or they have to make another substitution due to injury.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but Deluge looked like she jammed her ankle there in that challenge with who was that? The number 4.
Jarvis, Denovia Jarvis.
Jarvis. Less of a tackle by the defender and more of Deluge looking like she got a good chunk of the turf as she stretched to prevent a clearance by Jarvis. Hopefully she'd be good to continue. Assessments being made there by Duran Mead, and now we see the stretcher being signaled.
Yeah,
while we have this break, if we could just go through the starting lineups really quickly for cutting edge.
But just before you get to that, Zico, quickly, now watching this game with the player down, Zico, you could see huddles of players, Zico, being huddled together and trying to, assess what the coach is calling over players here. Much of what we were looking for in the first game, but I guess those two teams in the first game were younger teams and, maybe less organized than, so.
Less organized from the coaching perspective as well, but Coach Samuel and Coach Warner, experienced coaches. So for cutting edge, bearing in mind that we would have made a substitution, cutting edge, Azamaya Hodge in goal. Denisha Samuel would have started, but she would have been substituted. Tassian Benjamin, Abisha Henry, Onisha Deluge, Brianna Sharp, Donisha Samuel, Jordan Henriquez, Brianna August, Abigail Simmons, and Khadijah Proctor. As we mentioned, Denisha Samuel would have been injured and she would have been replaced by Camilla Brown. On the trendsetters, they still are going with their original starting 11. Anik Jarvis in goal, Tadia Brown, Amiel Delpiche, Camelia Hughes, Denovia Jarvis, Nafisa Squashy, Shakira Garro, Brittany George, and Risha Simon and Ozara Roberts, as well as Lakeisha Samuel.
Yes, Zico. So there you have it, viewers. The starting lineup for both teams. We do apologize for the lateness of bringing that bit of information to you here in this live broadcast of this game here. And we're into the second game here, ladies and gentlemen, of our doubleheader here this evening at the ABFA Technical Center in the Calvin Air ABFA Women's Premier League between Cutting Edge and Trendsetters FC. And we're here deadlock at 0-0 thus far, moving into somewhat of the
35th minute.
35th minute of play, Zico. And I think this probably might be the first game that goes to the half at a 0-0 stand, a 0-0 or even a draw.
The truth is we had a fair bit. We had a couple of injuries that required the physio, so we should have a good bit of injury time. So we would have 5 minutes plus whatever injury time referee Shamroy deems necessary to make up for the time that we would have lost in the first half.
Definitely. But Zeke, I must say I'm impressed by the back four of Vincent Nabo Samuel's team, Cutting Edge here. They have been in superb position based on where the ball is. But here we have Cutting Edge on the attack, but ball intercepted by Brown, played to Hughes. Hughes has sometimes elected to try to find Ogaro. Simmons was there, but unfortunately she couldn't have gotten a foot hit, but well read and covered by Benjamin. Benjamin goes back to Hodge. Hodge goes forward one time. Still Simmons, and there's referee Ali deemed there was a foul just now on Simmons, and there's a free kick to Cutting Edge Zico. Just to go back quickly on the back four of Cutting Edge Zico, I'm talking about movement in terms of shape on and off the ball. Zico has absolutely been spectacular here this evening. I must be honest, it's the first game I've been at so far, and seeing that kind of understanding of position and communication from a back four.
I'm from my vantage point, none of this surprised me, George. Bearing in mind that they are expertly marshaled by, in my estimation, one of the best coaches in the country, in that of Vincent Samuel. So that organization is not surprising for me, but it shows work being done both from the player perspective, but also from the coaching side of things.
Most definitely, and here we have Agosti on it. Agosti plays a lovely reverse ball to the gap for Enriquez, but Enriquez is being chased by Hughes. Hughes gets there first, but still applying some pressure is Enriquez. Hughes comes away with it, and Hughes allows that one to run over the line, and there's a throw-in. But Hughes is under some pressure from young Enriquez, which bears into the mind that that's what forces Hughes to not be in full control of that one.
Good battle by two young national players, albeit from two different age groups. Jordan would have not been able to get onto the first one, but she didn't give up. She stuck with it and kept the pressure on, and would have won a throw-in in a fairly dangerous area for her team.
She coached. And that one was thrown in just now by Simmons, but cleared into touch by Ogaro. Simmons again. Simmons throws it to Proctor. Proctor is using a body to protect this one, but fouled by Ogaro. So now there's a free kick here, Zico, on the left-hand side for Cutting Edge, and Agosti come across to take this free kick. August scored last week 2 goals for Cutting Edge Zico, and one of them was a blast from outside the box. So let me see if she could replicate it here from this free kick. And Augusta take. It's Bailey and was on target, but left alone to roll over the goal line there into touch by goalkeeper Anik Jarvis Zico.
I think August would have wanted to do a little bit better with that cross, at least force the goalkeeper to make a save, but more importantly, at least give her teammates possibility of getting on to the end of that spot.
Most definitely, and we're back in play here. Chensetta's moving up the line with it, tries to play forward but intercepted by Samuel, and fouled, committed there by the Chensetta player on Samuel, so we have a free kick here for Samuel. I like the fact that Zico, none of these teams are trying to go big from goal kicks or free kicks.
Yes, that shows some composure, but also a clear idea of how they really want to play. So kudos to both sets of players for providing what so far has been an entertaining game, George, even if we haven't had anyone on the score sheet.
Definitely, August is with it now. August likes to shoot it at left foot. It's definitely on target, but that's not enough to beat Anik Jarvis here in the Chensetta goal.
I don't think you're gonna trouble Anik from that distance unless it's something absolutely special.
Most definitely. And we're here with Samuel now. Samuel into Sharp. Sharp with a poor first touch, allowing the defender to come across and intercept that one and ricochet off Sharp for throw-in here for Chensetta's down on the left-hand side of the pitch, going from south to north. Throw-in is taken. Walked over the top, being chased here by 2 players, Benjamin and Kwashi, but it seems like he has enough to Benjamin to shepherd it outside deep in her half for throw-in.
Nafis is having an uncharacteristically quiet game so far, George, but that speaks to the organization and the discipline of the Cutting Edge defense, but also their midfielders as well. They've pretty much starved that service into young Squashy, and she's been relying on trying to get on to the end of hopeful balls over the top.
Most definitely. And we both of you can agree that the cutting edge back four is an experienced back four. There's quality in the back four. They're not just hit and run defenders, you know, they could position themselves properly. They have that awareness of when to control and when to clear. We see we have a foul down on the far side there for the cutting edge team. And, you know, so definitely Zico, the back four of the cutting edge team, has Kwashi under some having a relatively quiet evening here at the ABFA Technical Center.
But we do know players of quality only really need one good chance. So it's something that, for all the work they've done in the first half, it's something that they have to be mindful of in terms of where she is and not let their guard down.
Driven into the box by Henry. This one is falling in the midfield for Agos, but being challenged by Ogaro. Agos still has it. She looks to go to Simmons. Successful with getting it to Simmons. Simmons tried to go to Enriquez, but it was a poor pass. But Enriquez got there still. Simmons under some pressure from Kwashi. Kwashi has it, taking on Simmons. Kwashi and Simmons in a foot race. Simmons isn't all, but there's some help from Enriquez. Now there's Benjamin is with it. Benjamin looks up into the feet of Agos. Cleared by Hughes. And the ball is now with Abisha Henry. She plays it to Benjamin. Benjamin still has it. Composed, plays it to Agos. Agos plays it around the corner to Enriquez. Enriquez takes a great touch with the left foot. Tries to get it to Simon, but intercepted by Hughes. Brown has it. Cutting edge. Benjamin plays it into the feet of Proctor. Oh, but well read by Denovia Jarvis. Ball is still in play though, picked up by Enriquez. Being marshaled by Brown. Enriquez is looking to take Brown on. Enriquez come back. Oh, lovely turn by Enriquez. Enriquez still with it. Being pressured by Brown though. Enriquez going down the line. Across by Enriquez, but met by Hughes. But unfortunately, this one rolls into touch over the goal line, and it's a corner kick here, Zico, for cutting edge. So some good play by young Jordan Enriquez there just now, Zico.
Good footwork there from Jordan. Good composure, showing that confidence. Looking to get in behind, and once she does that, looking to deliver across. Hughes took up a good defensive position and blocked that initial cross. So kudos to both young ladies for the play so far.
Definitely, Zico. And I must say, there's a bit of confidence there just now by young Jordan Enriquez taking on the bigger Brown, you know, and being able to maneuver herself away from Brown. Corner taken by Gus, and one was driven low and hard and goes right across goal, but Samuel is on it, and Samuel attempt goes over the goal. Anix Jarvis goal here in the Trendsetter goal, so it's now a goal kick here for Trendsetters. See Trendsetters opening, making the two centre-back start as wide as possible. Playing short to Denovia Jarvis. Denovia Jarvis goes to her right winger. The right back plays it up forward. Ball beats Simon and Samuel and goes into touch for a throw-in here for the cutting edge team.
So we're into the, I want to say 44th minute of play. Yes, or 45th now, based on my watch. But obviously, between the substitutions and the treatment for injuries, quite a bit of extra time being played so far in this first half, George. And
we're still deadlocked here, Zico, at 0-0 here, Zico, in this encounter. So, enterprisingly good to see that both teams are, you know, defending properly. There's been some chances created by both teams, Zico, so that's good to see here from a perspective. Ball taken by Benjamin, but a heavy touch on Benjamin, and the ball rolls into touch for a throw-in for Trendsetters. Taken early by Brown, but intercepted again by Benjamin. Benjamin is having a world of a game here, Zico. Definitely being in some good position, making some good passes. Great take by Agos. Tries to play to Enriquez. It gets to Enriquez. Enriquez takes the touch, looking for options. Still trying to go past Brown. Enriquez has it. She's in front of Brown. Has a half a yard to go. Enriquez cuts across the box, picks her head up. Still going Enriquez. But well challenged by young Hughes, who comes away with it comfortably. Being challenged by Agos, and the ball rolls into touch for throw-in. But also we have here the halftime whistle blown by the officials here. So it comes to the end of the first half here in our second encounter here at the ABFA Technical Center between Cutting Edge Football Academy and Trendsetters FC here, Zico. Score is 0-0. You have thoughts on the first half, Zico?
competitive first half. George, both teams set up nicely. Both teams playing clearly to their game plan. I must say, I am impressed with the standard of play and the quality of the game. Clearly, it shows work being done. It shows an understanding by both teams. It also shows some quality, especially with the young players, so that augurs well for the future of the game. And again, feature match, I would say for now, living up to the expectations, minus of course the goal scoring. But the truth of the matter is, it's been more of a defensive masterclass, in my opinion, by both teams. There have been very few chances. I think there was probably the best chance of the game by Jarvis, where she, intercepted or picked up a ball in the middle, drove down the middle, but unfortunately hit straight at Amaya Hodge, who was grateful for that save. Outside of that, we've not seen much in the way of goal scoring chances. We've seen some quality play in the middle. We've seen some fantastic defending from both sets of defenders. Hopefully, we can see the attacking side of the game flourish a little bit more in the second half.
Yes, and definitely there you have it, viewers. We have come to the halftime break here at the ABFA Technical Center in this year's Calvin A sponsored ABFA Women's Premier League. Please stay tuned for the second half.
Discover the Caribbean from a new perspective with Calvin Air Helicopters. Call us today at 789-4354 or email reservations@calvinair.com. From providing access to higher learning, fostering young talent in music, to supporting youth development initiatives, the Calvin Air Foundation is playing a pivotal role in nurturing the potential of tomorrow's leaders.
Yeah, and we're back here at the ABFA Technical Center in Painters for the second half of our doubleheader here this evening between Trendsetters FC and Cutting Edge Football Academy. The score halftime was 0-0, and we're back in play here now. Zico?
Yes. So on resumption, it was a I wouldn't say as entertaining a first half as we would have anticipated, but both teams look organized, solidly organized defensively. Hopefully, we can have a couple of goals in the second half.
Most definitely, Zico. And the organization, the formation, players being in good position relatively to the ball is looking a lot better this week in the third week of play here, Zico, which we can all appreciate as from a commentating standpoint and a spectator standpoint.
Yes, and it has lent to more competitive games. Earlier we saw Fort Road score in the dying moments to notch their first win, coming back twice, to beat Lady Masters 3-2, and Lady Masters giving another good account for themselves this week for being a young team. So we have seen the level of play progress from week to week, and that's important for us as commentators, but also in terms of developing a fan base for this league.
Most definitely, Zico, which is not bad. And here we go with Trendsetters on the attack with Denovia Jarvis being played in by Kwashi, but the shot taken by Jarvis and the ball goes harmlessly wide of goal, and Hodge had no problem watching it go harmlessly wide.
Yes, it looks like Trendsetters are looking to apply a little bit of pressure. I see the veteran Karen Warner would have been introduced at half, which pushes Jarvis into what was her right-sided position last week.
Oh, yes, most definitely, Zico. Yes, we have Karen Warner here. Yesterday was a substitution. It seemed like Lakeisha Samuel was substituted for the Trendsetter team to allow the entry of the veteran Karen Warner, Zico. And Zico, I understand there was a combine for both boys and girls last week, and I understand that the goalkeeper Hodge for Cutting Edge was one of the recipients of a scholarship, Zico. Also, Brown of Trendsetters, I understand, has also been offered a scholarship abroad.
Yes, both players would have impressed over the space of the 4 days in the combine. Hodge and Brown would have both been offered full scholarships, which is really impressive. Full scholarships are not the norm these days. They were back when I played, but they're not the norm these days. So it means that the coaches would have identified both players as players that can be impactful for their team. From my information, they both are expected to take up duties at Oakwood University in Alabama. I think they're an NAIA school, which, for those of us who are familiar with the collegiate game in America, we have the NCAA and we have the NAIA. So they're going to be at Oakwood University in Alabama, playing over the next 4 years.
Okay, Zico, definitely. But it's always good for that bit of information. There was Deluge who had to come off just now for the Cutting Edge team. She sustained an injury early in the first half, and she tried to play through, but it seemed like she cannot play through. So, ball well intercepted here with Proctor. Proctor goes wide to Samuel. Samuel has some options in Sharp. She decides to use Sharp to August. August cuts back, has Simon on the run, tries to play a diagonal, but intercepted. Picked up here by Benjamin. Benjamin has space. Benjamin is going forward, coming through the middle, has the option to play wide for Samuel. And it was a lovely ball for Samuel, but well read by the defender there for the Trendsetter teams. Take it a bit wide. She's still under some pressure from Samuel, and the ball goes into touch. And it seems like it's a throw in here for the Cutting Edge team. Taken early by the player into Augusti. Augusti turns, but being under some pressure from Hughes. And there's an infringement there on Augusti, and a free kick is awarded for the Cutting Edge team. Also, substitute being made here, Zico. Deluge is off, and number 2 is on here, Zico. Number 2 seems to be...
Chloe Davis.
Yes, Chloe Davis is on here for Cutting Edge, Zico.
Chloe would have been with our U14 girls. U14 or U15?
It's U14, just concluded
U14,
in Trinidad
yes.
in the summer.
Yes, the Girls Challenge Series, CFU Girls Challenge Series, should have been part of that group, along with Jordan Henriquez and Jaquela Bella, who would have played in the previous game. So, the introduction of one of our bright prospects at the national level.
And free kick taken by August, but straight into the wall. A great job done by the defending team there just now, the number 11. Just taking that one straight in the midsection area, and the ball goes into touch for a corner kick to be taken by Augusti.
Oh, to be young, George. Being hit from close range in the midsection. To be young.
Yes, definitely. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the ABFA Technical Center between the encounter between Cutting Edge and Trendsetter, and the score is 0-0 as we resume second half of play. Corner taken, picked up by Trendsetters and hit forward, being chased by Genovia Jarvis and Tassia Benjamin, but Benjamin gets there first and goes around Jarvis with relatively ease. Still, but Jarvis is on the hunt. Play to Enriquez. Enriquez challenge. Ball breaks to Simmons. Simmons still playing. Goes back to Benjamin. Benjamin has time. Plays one across the middle. Intercepted by Trendsetters. Played by August. August is on it, but it's a lovely tackle there by Hughes. And engaging contact. Simons gets it and turns out. Simons tries to play to Kwashi, but intercepted by Benjamin. Now it's with Agaro. Agaro has time. Looks ways of an option. But straight into Proctor, and Proctor comes away with it. And there's an injury to a player down there for the Cutting Edge team, Zico.
That looks like August taking that shot, but Hughes would have gotten the ball before. I think there was some inadvertent contact there, and hopefully she can receive some treatment and be able to continue. I don't think Coach Nabu Samuel can ill afford any more injuries at this point, George. I think all of his substitutions
were forced substitutions. I mean, I can't imagine having to make 3 substitutions and none of them are actually tactical. Well, yes, Zico. As a coach, both of us being coaches, and being coaches, coached by Coach Nabu Samuel, we know that he's not really pleased with making forced substitutions, Zico.
Definitely out of his comfort zone.
Definitely.
It's going to be interesting to see how he marshals the one. And interestingly, I had a look at the bench earlier, and the truth is, I think this week he had somewhat of a depleted bench. So at this point, there may be no more substitutes to go to, or he's probably down to his last substitute.
He definitely looks like he's down to his last, because there's a young lady standing at the back of the bench there. Can't see her number because she has on a bib, but I'm sure he still has one substitute left. But the good thing about this what's happening here with Coach Nabu Samuel and the injuries to his players is none of these players are from his back four or his immediate midfield area. So where his core and his base of his team is functioning from, and which in my opinion is the most solid part. He has Proctor still in his full back four.
I think he would have been forced to make a change in centre back with Denisha Samuel, but outside of that, I think he would appreciate not having to change that. I must say, George, I have been impressed with the work being done by Kadisha Proctor. I mean, there's no surprise to either of us in terms of the quality, but she seems to have slot into this Cutting Edge team rather seamlessly. She's brought a bit of aggression, a bit of steel, a bit of bite, but also a whole lot of composure into that midfield to allow them to continue playing the way that they need to play.
But most definitely, to be honest, I myself, you could look at Proctor when Proctor is on the ball or off it and see that Proctor is the player. You know, there's very few players we can look at in this league and actually say that. And you could definitely see the mannerism, the composure, the understanding of where she's supposed to be and what she can do when she team has the ball. I know she's been suffering from a knee injury over the past couple of years, but it's always good to see her but here we have it now. There's a breakaway for Nafisa Squashy, but a heavy first touch. And Hodge was alert to the touch and quickly off her line to come and collect that one, Zico.
Yes, that Nafisa finally being able to break away from the shackles of that back four. Unfortunately, that final touch let her down. Yeah. Really uncharacteristic of her. I think it's indicative of the pressure being applied by the back four. I think, her not having the amount of touches on the ball has led to a little bit of anxiousness on her part.
Most definitely. And there we have there was a strong challenge just now, Zico, halting a very dangerous attack by the cutting edge team, and a yellow card given also by the number 11 player.
That looked like all balls to me, George, but that's why we're behind the camera, or that's why we're in front of the camera and not out there.
Yes, most definitely. And referee Shemroy has a better view of the action than we did there, and elected to deem that a cardable offense, Zico. And from some standpoint, we will let that one slide.
We let that one slide all day, George.
Well, here we have it. There's a free kick to be taken. I can't say who is going to take it. I remember it looks like ABFA Henry is over it. There's a four-man wall for the Trendsetters team, and there's quite a few players from cutting edge in the box also, but this one is driven straight into the graceful arms of coach Annie goalkeeper Annie Jarvis, and she elects to throw. The one goes straight to Genovia Jarvis, who's on the run still. She gets past one, but she has options in Ogaro. Ogaro is still there. Jarvis is still on the run. A lovely ball by Ogaro, but a bit heavy, and the cutting edge defense was aware of that run and made themselves present to offset Jarvis getting on that ball. Benjamin. A great ball into Jarvis, miscontrol but picked up by Simmons. Simmons and Jarvis, lastly Jarvis wins it back, plays it across to Squashy. Squashy's on it, Squashy elects to shoot, and another shot by Squashy, and it goes wide there. I hope Squashy's not getting frustrated with herself. Zico out there, it's a tough game. She's a young player with acres of time and on her side to develop her game, Zico.
Yes, but more importantly, I think the cutting edge defense would want to be mindful that this has been 2 chances in the space of 3 minutes. If you want to continue living this dangerously and allowing a player quality of Nafisa Squashy to pop up in those areas, unmarked, unchallenged, with 3 shots at goal.
Yeah, definitely you don't want that. So there's a hassle between Ogaro and Proctor. Ogaro came out with it. Now Simmons has it. Simmons has time and space to run into. She's going. She tries to praise Enriquez. Enriquez has it. Simmons continues to run, but Enriquez is challenged very strongly by Brown. And this one goes into touch for a throw-in for cutting edge. Yes, it's been good. A good game. A solid second half. Continuing from the first half. Squashy has gotten 2 chances. 2 really good chances, to be honest. She hasn't gotten a good sniff in the first half. Unfortunately, she haven't been able to take those chances, and as dangerous as Squashy is, Zico, you can't afford to be giving Squashy chances. But here we go with Ogaro trying to play one into Squashy, but well read by Benjamin. This one falls for number 8 for cutting edge plays in Squashy. A great touch by Squashy. Squashy has options, but Benjamin is aware of her surroundings and picks up that one. Picked up by Proctor. Proctor goes to Henry. Henry tries to take on Squashy. Squashy and Henry wrestling for it, and there's a foul on Henry. A foul committed by Henry on Squashy, and it's a free kick here now for Trendsetters, some 30 yards, Zico?
I would say. Again, Brown seems to be interested.
Definitely.
I think she fancies her chances based on what happened last week.
Yeah, but I don't think Hodge is a competent goalkeeper from our standards here, Zico. And Brown takes it and it goes harmlessly over the goal and into touch for a goal kick here for cutting edge.
The biggest difference week to week is that Brown put that on goal. And as people say, you can't win the lottery unless you buy a ticket. You don't have a chance to score unless you put it on frame. I think she would have been disappointed with that effort of hitting it so high over the crossbar.
Most definitely. And we have there's the restart now. Hodge played it to Benjamin. Benjamin running with it. Goes past one, goes past two, gets it into August. August with a lovely touch. A great reverse ball to Enriquez, but intercepted by Brown. Played forward, intercepted by Simon. Now Proctor. And the ball goes into touch for throwing here for Trendsetters.
The quality continuing in the second half, George, and this is what we want. This is what we expected. Both teams, well coached teams, but the players also bringing their A games, to the technical center and making for a good match.
Yeah, definitely. I think Cutting Edge is playing a good game, Zico. I just think that young Enriquez needs to take a little more time on the ball when she gets it. She's rushing the passes. She's not allowing players to get forward enough to join her. And I think there's not enough players making that effort to get forward to join her too. Also, Zico, because I see there's a player down, number 9, it looks like, is Sharp. Is down here for the Cutting Edge, but the referee has not recognized it yet. And there's a foul just now on Simmons, so the referee has awarded a free kick for the Cutting Edge team with a player down. He's not. Oh no, he's brought away.
Looks like Sharp is suffering from cramps. I think she's done a lot of running. She's done a lot of running. She's covered quite a bit of ground so far in the game, and just showing the signs of that increased workload there.
Definitely. I think physio Durant Mead has done a lot of running also here this evening, Zico. He's been really busy here on the pitch, off the pitch, on the pitch, off the pitch.
I'm pretty sure he's gotten his 10,000 steps in.
Well, yeah, most definitely. He most definitely has gotten his 10,000 steps in, Zico. And, Zico, this is a good opportunity yesterday to talk about some of the... I'm very impressed with the fact that these young under-14 players who have just gotten back from their first tournament with the under-14 national team in Trinidad and Tobago is now participating in what is adult league.
Yes.
So it's always both as well that when you start to play from a young age and you're interested in development as a young player, then that only gives you the opportunity to develop. And then when you becomes an adult now, you will be so much better in terms of understanding the game, your mental toughness, and such things. There's a lot of players in these teams apparently are below the age of 16, Zico.
Yes, I think it bodes well for the future. I mean, the truth is, we would have benefited, or we would have been in that situation where we were teenagers playing in senior leagues, and I think that helped our development. So hopefully we can mirror that on the women's side of things to ensure that we're providing that constant development that these young players need. I know that there aren't as many games on the female side of things. So it's important that these young ladies be put in a situation where they can continuously be challenged and be pushed and be exposed, because that's going to help their development.
Definitely. And here we go with Trendsetters and the attack down the right. Player being shepherded by Benjamin, but dispossessed by Benjamin, and Benjamin will come away with it. Simmons. And Simmons tried to play that one for Enriquez, but the pass was a bit heavy and it rolls into touch for a throw-in for Trendsetters.
Yes, still see Sharp trying to stretch that calf out. George, I mean, that's one of those injuries that are but extremely uncomfortable. I mean, it's and as the issues you run into playing on the turf, it's really unforgiving. So we must commend these young ladies for putting in this effort, and I think this would have been 2 weeks in a row for Cutting Edge, and obviously some players still working on their fitness, and so it's important that they try to take care of themselves and do that extra work that's necessary during the week as far as conditioning and fitness and improving those areas of play, because it's going to improve the quality on the weekend.
Yes, Zico, and it seems like the both coaches now has been a lot more vocal on the sideline. Now in the second half, it was a more quiet first half from both coaches, just allowing the players in them to get into the stride and get into the rhythm of the game. But I know Coach Nabu Samuel is not settling for a draw here. And you know how it is in football in Antigua. It's not only players competing, coaches competing also, and both coaches here this evening is looking for bragging rights.
Yeah, but that's what it should be. We are, as coaches, we're asking our players to win their battles on the field, and that's only part of it. Coaches have to win their battles across the sidelines. Your team may be playing well, but if you're out-coached, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. So I like what I'm seeing as far as the coaches are concerned, trying to match each other, trying to outthink and outfox and try to gain that tactical advantage. So that's good to see and important to understand in terms of the overall development of our coaches in the country.
Definitely. Zico, if you have to, just say thus far watching this game and saying the player that is looking the most dangerous, and let me not say dangerous, but the player that you see has been most involved in this game and having a really good game here this evening, Zico, you have to choose two players, one from either side. Where would you go with it?
I would say Tassian Benjamin for cutting edge. She's been on the ball. I don't think she's set. I don't think she's taken a misstep all game. And on the trendsetter side of things, I think they're having a relatively quiet game by their standards. I would say the most impactful player for trendsetters so far, I think, will be their number 4.
Genovia Jarvis. Yeah, well, I would definitely go with you in terms of Tassia Benjamin overall. Not only for her team, but overall, she has been really composed. She's intercepted a whole lot of passes. She has made some lovely passes forward to start the attack. She has driven into space when given opportunity to do so. As I said, she hasn't made a misstep thus far since the game has been started. I think Ogaro has been really involved first half and second half for trendsetters. I think Brown has been involved a lot too. I think those two players, some trendsetters, has been really involved. I think the number 11, who has just been substituted in also, has been getting quite a few touches also. But definitely Tassia Benjamin overall has been absolutely fantastic out here for cutting edge, and Ogaro for trendsetters, and also Brown.
I think Ogaro has been she's been solid.
But she's been deployed in quite a few positions throughout the game so far. She's been a right winger. Yes, she started at central midfield, and due to some sort of tactical change, she went out wide on the right, and then now she's back at central midfield.
I think she's showing her versatility, but also the experience and the composure. And I think that's something that the younger girls could look forward to. Ogaro would have done her time both with the national team but also at the collegiate level. I think she would have been at Bryant and Stratton, if I'm not mistaken. And we've had quite a few players both on the male and female side who are alumni of Bryant and Stratton. Janelle Simon, Kelly Frederick, Troy Simon,
Antoine Henry.
Just to name a few on the boys' side.
I think we have Diarra Mack went to Bryant and Stratton.
Diarra would have been at Bryant and Stratton. I think, obviously, Ogaro. I think we do have a couple of young ladies there now who have just completed their studies there. So it's a familiar place familiar destination for our players, and they've done well, and they've made their mark.
Definitely, Zico. So there we had an attack by cutting edge, but Anik Jarvis was up to the task and ran out of our goal comfortably to clear this one. Here we have it now. Ball is with Proctor. Proctor plays this one over the top for August. August is in a challenge with Hughes, but the ball is flicked on and rolls harmlessly to Anik Jarvis in goal here for cutting. Most definitely, Zico, there's been some good enterprising play out here this evening. A lovely flick on by Ogaro, but read by Tassia Benjamin, Zico, who we can say has been absolutely fantastic here. And here we have Hughes making a run forward, but Hughes was brought down there by the player who has just been subbed down there for the cutting edge team.
It's Chloe Davis.
Which was Chloe Davis, who was subbed down a bit earlier. And I think that was a really professional form, because from watching Hughes, when Hughes gathers a head of steam, Zico, it's kind of difficult to stop her going forward.
Difficult to contain.
And there was a bit of hesitation there just now for that ball playing over the top by Hughes. And the unrushing player was Genovia Jarvis, it seemed like, and Hodge decided to come and stop, but fortunately for her, the ball ricocheted off her shin and go wide of a goal.
A little bit of indecision there by goalkeeper Hodge, presenting a 50-50 chance to Jarvis. I mean, a ball that, in my estimation, could have been collected on the first attempt, but that indecision, that hesitation, but she did well enough to stay big and force a corner kick.
Definitely corner taken, whipped outwards, but 11 gets there first, being challenged by Simmons, and 11 takes a shot, but the ball goes harmlessly wide of Hodge's goal. Yes, Zico, definitely an indecision by Hodge, but in all, you know, it worked out for them. Ball is Benjamin tries to get it, picked up by Brown, driven in by Brown. Now it falls to Squashy, but Samuel is there, and that's well read, Zico. Good covering, defending there by Donisha Samuel to be able to get there in time before Squashy could have gotten that one under control and take a shot to goal.
That's good anticipation there by Donisha, reading the danger, not leaving things to chance. I mean, her centre back partner would have had a good game so far, but it's always important to ensure that you're in the right position for those eventualities.
And we must both could attest that she was in the right position just now. So here we are with Cutting Edge trying to get out of their half here, and they have a throwing down on the left. And now we have now changed direction in play for Cutting Edge, going from south to north, and Chances going from north to south. Show taken. Ball is with Simmons. Simmons tries to go past once she gets past on Geneva Jarvis. Still Simmons, but could not get past Ogaro. Ogaro used her body well, but Ogaro was challenged by Proctor and had to toe poke at that one, and the toe poke and the ball ran into touch over the touchline for a throw-in for Cutting Edge. We've been in Cutting Edge half, Zico, for some 2 to 3 minutes, Zico.
Yes, Trendsetters ramping up the pressure, trying to hem them into their half, and Cutting Edge finding it really difficult to transition into the middle and the attacking thirds of the field and relieve some of that pressure. We see Tassia and Benjamin just taking their time. There's the experience, George, being under a little bit of pressure. How long can I take to get this through and restart the game? Let me calm things down, take a little bit of sting out of the game.
You know, if you had to give Coach Nabu Samuel team one thing, because you know, in football is all about the where you have to say where you have at your disposal. And if you have to give him one thing in this game to give him that edge to go and get a goal, in what position you think he's kind of lacking up? But here they go forward, but Anik Jarvis is quickly off a line to gather that one. Being beamed down by 2 players from Cutting Edge, but she was up to the task and she did a wonderful job by getting to that ball. And the ball is picked up now by Abisha Henry, cleared back forward by Abisha Henry. Augusti was there, but picked up by Ogaro. Ogaro still has it, being challenged. Ogaro boots it forward, but picked up by Tassia. Tassia looks forward, plays one into Proctor. Proctor with a poor first touch and dispossessed, but Proctor was forced into a sliding challenge and is now being cautioned here and receiving the yellow card. Proctor, I think, was she first touch let her down. Yes. The Zeke and was forced into that challenge.
Yes, but heavy first touch, you know, having to stretch to try to keep possession. But alluding to your question, I think looking at how the Cutting Edge team is structured, I think Coach Samuel would really relish having the opportunity of a proven goal scorer, a tear-away striker. Could you imagine a player the caliber of Gabriel D'Souza?
But let me say, if remember Cutting Edge is short to Zico, Cutting Edge has Allen, and she's not here this evening. Yes. Irisha, and I think if Irisha was here tonight, given her pace, would have made a huge difference. Yeah, because she would have been a welcoming outlet in it, and I think that's what missing here tonight.
I think that is what is missing from the overall performance of Cutting Edge. Not to take anything away from the players who are trying their hardest on the field, but based on the question, I think he would be thinking, you know, in terms of having that pace, that tear-away pace.
And there's a substitution here for the Trendsetters team. Number 13 is going on And number 13 is coming on, Tamara Lake, and exiting the field is number 11.
That's another young, exciting player. I would have, a couple of years ago, she was one of the better young players on the female side of things. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to see her play much, I would say, over the last couple of years, but it's, in my estimation, one of our more enterprising talents on the female side of things.
Yes, and here we have Enriquez on it. Enriquez plays it back to Simmons. Simmons takes the time, tries to go back to Enriquez. She gets there. Enriquez turn across midfield, but a poor pass straight to Ogaro. Ogaro tries to play through the middle. Squash is making an effort to get at it, but Tassia Benjamin looked like she's going to beat her to it. Benjamin decides to try to dribble out. She comes around the corner, but still hounded by Kwashi. Kwashi has it now. Squashy looks up. She likes to whip it across the goal, which is a lovely cross picked up by Genovia Jarvis. And Jarvis is in on goal, but a brilliant save, an absolute brilliant save here by Hodge Zico. Top class save by Hodge to keep her team here in this goal game at 0-0 Zico. But Hughes is here in the attack. A lovely ball played in by Hughes to Jarvis, but Jarvis was challenged by Samuel. Samuel has it, looks to option, has one up the line, plays it up the line. The player takes it, turns, but it was a poor first touch. And that ball ricochets.
That's fantastic goalkeeping there by Hodge. Being brave, staying big, coming off the line and closing down. Bit of a questionable offside decision not being flagged by the assistant referee there, George, and we can tell Coach Samuel feeling aggrieved. This is the first time we've
seen him up.
A glimpse of him getting off that bench, admonishing the assistant referee on the far side of the field, you know, in terms of ensuring that you're getting these calls right.
Well, Zico, I haven't seen much lady football or female football across the country in a time, and I could fully understand why Hodge was selected by one of these scouts who was here last week. Just that timing of the bravery of coming out there and being able to smother that ball over and keep it out of the net.
Definitely, George, and I think she's showing us exactly why she would have been heavily recruited.
You know, to a full scholarship at that.
Full scholarships are not easy to come by. It's not easy to come by because you know, the business side of it, and we have to understand that at every level, including the collegiate level, football is a business, and coaches are going to make the best business decision. And usually, full scholarships are not always the best business decisions for coaches.
So, well, from our vantage point here, seeing her last week and this week, it seems like it's a very, very good business decision, Zico.
I think from their coaching perspective and from the scouts, from their perspective, clearly they would rate her as a game changer, and that would indicate why they would be willing to invest that amount of money in a player.
Yes, Zico, and there we had an attack. There was some indecision between Donisha Samuel and her goalkeeper, but Donisha did enough to get this one into touch and to relieve the pressure there just now from the trendsetter team. Donisha is down, Zico, and he's looking to get some attention.
Yes, we're clearly seeing the increased pressure over the last, I want to say, 10 minutes by trendsetters taking a toll on the cutting edge defensively. We see Donisha needing treatment, but we're also seeing Tassia and Benjamin for the first time this evening showing signs of a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of tiredness setting in. So we're going to see if cutting edge can hold their nerve and see this game out.
Definitely, we're back in play here. The ball is with Kwashi being challenged by Henry. Kwashi plays it into the box. Intercepted by Simmons. Simmons tries to clear. Falls back for the trendsetter player under pressure from Chloe Davis and Jordan Enriquez. Still waiting on Tassia Benjamin, gets to tow it forward as far as half line, but recovered by Brown Now it's with Karen Warner. Warner back to Brown. Brown elects to play it over the top. And it falls from Genovia Jarvis, but Genovia Jarvis was ruled to be in an offside position when that ball was played, Zico.
Yes, I mean, just a little bit of nervy, anxious moments from both teams there, George. Cutting edge holding their nerve and holding that line really, really tight. And young Jarvis straying offside, losing sight of where her closest mark would be. And at this level, I mean, with her pace, I don't think she needs to be straddling the line so tight. I think she could possibly give this back for a half yard and still beat them for pace. But again, that comes with experience, that comes with understanding and trust in your own ability.
Most definitely, Zico. And here we're back in play, and the ball played forward but intercepted by the midfield maestro, Khadija Parker, here this evening for cutting it. Khadija Proctor, sorry, the midfield maestro here for cutting it, Zico.
I think she has shown her worth and shown why Coach Samuel would have included her in the team this week. I mean, she didn't play with them last week, and they were impressive last week, but obviously they look at different level this week, and they would have had to step their game up against one of the better teams in the competition on paper.
Most definitely, Zico. Yeah, Zico, Proctor just be with me down at Hopper. She's my equipment manager down there. And I'm going to have to encourage her to come to training session with her boots so she could get some work in, at least if Nabu is not training, so she could do a little more. Because I think she has a lot more that she could offer, but she's probably not in the best of shape, and she's also suffering from a knee injury. But here we have an injury here, Zico, to Donisha Samuel, and the physio Durant is at it again, Zico, definitely.
I think he's, by my estimation, well into the 11,000 steps. 11,000 steps to the day range at this point, George. But yes, Donisha sticking, showing her aggression there, putting her body on the line to ensure that she nullifies this attack of the rampant trendsetter team at this point.
Yeah, most definitely. I see Coach Nabi Samuel back in some instruction now, giving some instruction to Augusti to stay in front of the back four, and he doesn't want it to be probing forward because it looks like we're into like the 39th minute of play unofficially here, Zico. So I think Coach Nabi Samuel is just settling for the 1 point here, Zico, this evening.
All things being equal, I think if you told, based on the composition of both teams, if you had given Coach Samuel the option of getting a point before the game would have started, I think he would have been okay with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's never easy dealing with the firepower of the strength setter team when you have a proven goal scorer. I mean, in the person of Nafisa Squashy. So I think he would be looking to ensure that there's something to be taken away from this point, and you can see the experience and the instructions. Slow it down, we've been under pressure, we're almost to the end, we need to see it out, and more importantly, you were playing the last 2 minutes with 10 players, calm things down.
Definitely. So ball is played to Samuel. Samuel opens up to her right, tries to place it around the corner to Chloe, but intercepted. But Henry is here on it, and Henry boots it long and hard forward, being chased by Enriquez, but Enriquez won't get there, picked up by Jarvis. Jarvis boots it back into play. And we missed a very good bit of defending earlier this week by Brown, who was brave to run back and head one clear. That was played forward. And there's a lovely ball to the gap here for Squashy. Squashy's on it, but Samuel is also here. And double team by Henry, still Squashy being surrounded by two players, plays it to Jarvis. Jarvis being challenged by Samuel, and a left-footed shot taken by Jarvis, but to no avail, and picked up comfortably by Hodge.
I will say, George, I was impressed with the decision making there by Abisha Henry in that one-on-one situation with Squashy. She stayed calm, she stayed composed. A lot of players, and we've seen it even on the men's side, rash challenges at the top of the penalty area, the dying moments of the game, but Abisha just keeping her composed. I don't think you want to be giving up a free kick to trendsetters at the top of the box at this moment in the game with Nafisa Squashy lined up.
Brilliant by Chloe Davis eluding her defender, but it's a poor first touch by August. and August, the ball is booted over the top by the trendsetter player. Yes, Zico, and I'm saying is I am impressed with the centre-back pairing of Abisha Henry and Tassia Brown. If I was coaching up with somebody, there's no way I was changing that. But, you know, at times, I think Tassia Brown could be more proven better as a wing-back because she has that ability to understand the game, to cross the ball and, you know, to get into good attacking position. So, you know, it's just up to the coach. But from my standpoint here this evening, both of them has been really impressive together. Here's Chloe Davis on it, a poor first touch, read by Young Hughes, and Young Hughes got there, and Chloe was forced to commit a foul here on thing. And we're well into the 42nd minute, Zico, or 40 plus 2, as they say in football in time in terms.
See the fourth official trying to get her orders from the referee, so we can have a signal as to how much time is left in this game. But I would say both teams have given a good account of themselves so far, George.
Simmons has been dispossessed, balls with number 30 for Chelsea, but Simmons did good work to get back there and win it. Still with Simmons, Simmons tried to get out, beats one, Simmons beats two, but Simmons was fouled by Denosia Jarvis. And this gives Chelsea a bit of time, Zico, to slow it down and gain their composure and take this one and settle this one down for the job.
Are we gonna have another game with some late game heroics, George?
Well, I don't think none of the two coaches would be looking for that late game heroics against them. So let's see how it pans out here. Ball is played forward, picked up by Henry. Warner was headed clear by Khadija Proctor here, Zico. There's some great enterprising play and good individual performances here, Zico. Quite a few players who need to be mentioned in this game for having some good performance individually. But there's a player down here, it seems like it's Hughes, Zico, who has been working tirelessly both in defense and trying to get a team forward. You know, Zico, she reminds me a bit of myself being an anticipator of the pass, Zico. She have anticipated quite a few passes and kept her momentum going forward, whereby, you know, in some cases when the defender win it, they stop and pass it. But Hughes has been doing a great job of anticipating the pass, winning the pass and driving forward to get her team on the offensive.
I think she's done extremely well. And the funny thing is, I think she's playing well within herself.
Most definitely.
I've seen her at the school league level. I've seen her now 3 weeks with them, and I think there's another gear that she has, and it would be interesting. It'd be interesting to see her progress through those gears. But she's definitely one for the future. I mean, she's put in a massive shift this evening, as she has for the first weeks.
Yeah, well, the first game, because this is the second game. Yes.
But I think I can't help but I see her movements and I see how she approaches the ball, and I can't help but think that there's another gear that she can really tap into, and I'm hoping that we get to see that side of her game, because I think she has blistering pace. I think she has real good technical ability, but I think she has to tap into that mindset where I want to be the best player on show at every single game.
Yeah, and that is, I think that is the biggest issue. But here we're back into the run of play here. Genova Jarvis has it, met by Samuel and Squashy. Jarvis is on it, Squashy's making a run, a lovely ball, but well read by Benjamin. But that was a brilliant combination, a good run by Squashy, and even a decent pass too by Jarvis, but well read by Benjamin to clear the line, Zico. And that was a poor pass, but Jarvis couldn't get there. Now it is with Warner. Warner tries to play it forward, met by Henry. So look, he's going to fall for Chloe Davis. Chloe Davis is on it, but this one goes into touch. And it's a throw-in for trendsetters here.
Really nervy moments coming down to the wire.
And we have a substitution here, Zico.
Good defensive play by Tassia and Benjamin again. Being in the right place, good anticipation, good technique.
Just to update the viewers on the substitution, Young Hughes is out, and number 16 it is Zico. Anika Samuel is on the field, Zico. Ball is here with Simon. Now Warner takes a touch, sees the options, which is Brown, plays it wide to Brown. Brown chases it down, Brown gets there before it crosses, but unfortunately it crosses the touchline and goes into touch. Yes, Zico. So we are definitely past the 80th minute of play, Zico, and just waiting for that final whistle to call the outcome of this game.
Let's hope. I mean, I can't see us playing too much more at this point, George. But again, look at the experience. Tassie and Benjamin taking as much time as the referee is gonna allow her before she restarts the game.
Yes, and the train was taken to Enriquez, but Enriquez lost out to Brown. Now the ball is with Jarvis. Jarvis trying to take a man on, which is Simmons. Gets past Simmons briefly, but Simmons recovers well and clears this one. Ball booted forward, blocked by number 13. Number 13 still has it. Plays it to Kwashi. Kwashi with the turn, but Henry is there to take it off the feet. Kwashi falls to Ogaro. Ogaro still has it. Ogaro comes across the middle, plays it into the number 8. The number 8 with the turn, but met by Proctor. And then met by number 16, and there's a foul.
Handball.
Or handball there by Kwashi. A handball and Squashy, so there's a free kick for the Cutting Edge, and Coach Nabu Samuel shouting some instructions to his team to take some time off the clock and don't rush this free kick. Taken by Brown forward. Brianna August is there, winning it. Now it falls to Chloe. Chloe takes, turns, plays a pass into August. August tries to play it into the number 8. The number 8 picks it up off a mistake by Warner. The number 8 is on it, but Warner recovers. And it's cleared, but falls to Chloe Davis. Chloe Davis has it, plays it into the number, the August, and August turns and shoot, but easily gathered by Anik Jarvis, Zico.
Yes. The referee checking his watch. I don't see us playing a lot more than this, George.
And this one is booted into touch for throwing for trendsetters, Zico. I can't see we playing much longer than this either, Zico. But the game is at the referee's discretion in cases like this, isn't it?
Yes, but I think Coach Nabu would be happier of the two coaches based on the scoreline at present and the amount of time that's left in the game. But we're going to have a late game heroics again, George.
Yes, so this one is with Simmons now at midfield. Simmons looking to dribble. Simmons has it. Simmons plays it across to number 8. Number 8 turns, trying to get into space. She still has it, but being hounded by two players. Still number 8 trying to make a challenge. Ball played forward to number 14. Number 14 is coming. Samuel is jockeying. A lovely pass tried to be played by, but intercepted. And this one goes into touch. And there we have it, Zico. We come to the end of our second game of the doubleheader here at the ABFA Technical Center between Cutting Edge and Trendsetters, and the game ending in a 0-0 draw. It was a good game, first half and second half, Zico. Very few out-and-out chances. I think Squashy got the best chances of this encounter here this evening, and keeper Hodges up to the challenge and made 2 fantastic saves on Squashy. I think both coaches will welcome the point.
Yes.
Most definitely, but they would have wanted to get 3 points. But in all fairness, Zico, was a good game. Both teams share the spoils and will also share the financial spoils also, Zico.
Yes, that's important to mention. The teams receive their winnings right at the end of the encounter. So $500 to win, $250 for a draw on game. So this game ending in a draw, both teams would share that $500 purse. But I think, it was a good defensive show by both teams.
I think there was some good attacking enterprises towards
the end of the game. Yes, but I think kudos must be given to both sets of defenders.
Somebody over there has asthma and they're hyperventilating.
I think it's important to give credit to Tassie and Benjamin, produced a really, really good game. Karen Warner came in for the second half and showed up that trendsetter defense with her experience and her calm. But all in all, I think that the result mirrors I think it's a fair result.
Most definitely, I believe so.
In terms of how the game would have been played, and I think the crowd here at the technical center would have been pleased with the level of the competition today. The first game being as competitive as it was, and then back up this high intensity quality
of the game
between Cutting Edge FC and Trendsetters.
Yeah, well, just a quick round up, Zico, of our afternoon here at the ABFA Technical Center in the ABFA Calvinier sponsored Women's Premier League. First game of the afternoon was Lady Masters versus Fort Road, where Fort Road came away with a 3-2 victory over the Lady Masters team. And the second game of the evening was Trendsetters versus Cutting Edge, which ended in a 0-0 draw, and a very exciting game to some extent. Both teams were very good defensively. There was some enterprising play on the attacking end of it, but none of the teams could have converted the chances given. But from me, George Sauer Dublin, and Desmond Zico Blair, would like to say have a good evening, and we're looking forward to being back here with you next weekend for week 4 of the ABFA Calvinier sponsors Women's Premier League. Jamila, you don't take it easy for me just come there and do the 2 people right there one time, innit? Yeah. Than to bring them back over here, innit?
From providing access to higher learning, fostering young talent in music, to supporting youth development initiatives, the Calvin Foundation is playing a pivotal role in nurturing the potential of tomorrow's leaders.
Discover the Caribbean from a new perspective with Calvin Air Helicopters. Call us today at 789-4354 or email reservations@calvinair.com.